Okay, it's really bright. This is the new Polo. It's electric. Today, we're going driving. I'm going to tell you everything that I know about this car so far, and spoiler alert, it's a bit bloody good. So do you remember the Concept ID.2? This is basically it. This is like 90% of what that car was. I mean, in terms of exterior design, I can't tell you much because it's covered in camouflage, but we're expecting it to be kind of similar lights, similar rear end, similar C-pillar, that kind of design. But they decided to call it the Polo. Why? Because heritage. Now here's the thing, right? VW have been around for years, years and years and years. And the Polo itself has sold over 20 million over those years. I mean, you compare that with Chinese brands who like to give their cars really random names. No, VW want to stick to their heritage, stick to what they know. I mean, we all know a Polo. We all know someone that owned a Polo over the years. We all have a Polo story somewhere along the lines. Oh, and fun little fact, the guy who designed this, his name is Andreas Mint. I'm not even making that up. It's perfect. Now I know what you're thinking. This is just a smaller ID.3, but no, it's not. Because the platform has completely changed, you now have front wheel drive instead of rear wheel drive, which means your charge port is here, same side, but just along the front. Now in terms of charging speeds, there are two batteries. So the smaller battery version will charge at 90 kilowatts. The bigger battery version will charge at 130 kilowatts. That will take you from 10 to 80% in 23 minutes. Lovely stuff. You've also got AC charging, 11 kilowatt. That's always a good thing. Now, because it's front wheel drive, you now have more space in the rear. This is probably the biggest boot I've ever seen in a car of this size. This is 435 litres of space. Absolutely blooming huge. Now, I also need to point out the fact that this car actually comes with the Harman Kardon subwoofer, so it eats into the under boot space a little bit, but you kind of want to have that anyway, don't you, for your dirty beats. But the boot space here is insane. And then if you fold down the rear seats, you've got 1,243 litres of space in a Polo. In a Polo. That's bigger than the Golf 8. How does that make sense? Oh, okay. So here's everything I know, right? So you've got two battery options, a 37 kilowatt hour battery, which is smaller than the smaller battery in the Renault 5, but still perfectly fine. And then the 52 kilowatt hour battery. And then within that, you've got 4 trim levels. Now we haven't been told what's actually going to be coming to the UK, but that's what you can get your hands on if you are based in mainland Europe. We've also been told the pricing, only in euros, not in terms of UK pricing yet, but we have been told it will start at under 25,000 euros. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's good value for money. See this? This is my happy face. Why is it my happy face? Because they listened. Because Volkswagen took on board the issues that they've had for the last few years and they've gone, okay, yeah, we got it wrong, so let's fix it. So we have buttons. We have buttons. We have knobs. We have buttons. We have knobs. Oh my goodness. Do you know what? It's the simple things that didn't need fixing to begin with. And they've realised that they just got it wrong and they've gone, yeah, fine. And they have just sorted it. We've got buttons, actual buttons. And it just makes life so much easier. They basically said in the presentation, this is not a drivable smartphone. That's not how it should be. It's not that. We're not doing that anymore. It's now a car. Ah, right. It's really nice in here. So they told us that during the presentation that their inspiration was sort of taken from the beach, kind of calm vibes. And that's why you've got these lovely materials. These are all like sustainable materials, by the way, and especially on here as well. So this bit here will never be the same in any other Polo because it's all just sustainable put together materials. And up here, this just looks like one big sound bar, but it's not. But it just looks like it is. I think it looks very smart. You've also got some squishy bits here, squishy bits on the doors. I do like the stitching. You've also got the same on the seats as well, which looks and feels very nice. This is the two-tone steering wheel, by the way. You can get it in complete black if you go for the black interior. But personally, I'm a fan of this look. This is the style version. by the way, just in case you were wondering. In terms of the screens, we have a 13-inch screen here for all of your driver information and a 10.6-inch screen. I hope I've got that number right. Either way, it's a big old screen and actually works pretty well. So you kind of go through the menus. They've gone for bigger widgets this time around, bigger buttons to make it nice and easy to use. You can also customize, very similar to like you would have a smartphone, so you can just hold things down and move them around and that kind of thing. Similar to what's going on down here, you should be able to hold things down and then chop and change those. Yes, so you can pick whatever is most important to you to put down on this bottom bit here. We love this. Okay, great. Can I show you my favorite thing? Which honestly, during the presentation, they showed it to us on the screen and the smile that came on my face and Manos's face was huge because retro. So all on here on your dials, all goes like to an old VW, like old Polo. And you think back to the Polo and you just think those were the days when it had like proper analog dials, and that's what it looks like. And I love the little attention to detail that you can see the shading behind each sort of number when the time changes and that kind of thing. It's just brilliant. Within here, within the maps, it looks like it's on a bit of paper. You can also change the stickers on there if you want some 70s retro vibes. See that up here? It's your radio stations. You can change that with the toggle there. Look at this. That is a proper digital cassette player. That will take you back. I remember buying cassettes when I was a kid from Woolworths. That is perfect. This is what the Honda E should have had. A proper digital cassette. I love it. Look, it's even got the bit of red tape that goes around with it. Now, for those that are younger than I, a cassette tape is a plastic container holding a magnetic tape used for analog audio and video recording and playback.
How old are you?
I am in my 30s.
Not for long.
Look at this! How it shows the percentage of the battery. Oh man, it looks so great. And I'm such a fan of the door handles. Little simple things. Now this is very similar to what you're going to get when the id.cross comes out, because when I drove the concept car that looked very different, but this is going to be a very similar layout. You've got storage underneath here, storage in here, cup holders here. There's going to be 2 charging stations for your phone there, or you can sort of hold it up like that if you want to. Bit more storage in there. And it all looks and feels very nice. It's a very lovely thing. It feels more spacious than you would expect it to be. Now that is because it is front wheel drive, which means there's more space in the back. Should we have a look? Come on in. This is nice back here. Now you've got to bear in mind that is set up for my driving position. I am 5'6.5", 169 centimetres. Got it. Now look at this. Bearing in mind, this is a Polo. This is smaller than an ID.3. It's the same size as a Renault 5. When I'm in a Renault 5, my knees are up to my tits. But no, here, this is nice. This is very spacious. This is very good. Yeah. Soft furnishings, squidge, bit of charging down there, bit of storage in there, flat floor, that's great. Yeah, that's good. You can get some teenagers back here, no problem. Right then team, the version that we have here is the larger battery version, which is the 52 kilowatt hour version, and it's got 208 horsepower. Now you can get more power if you want it. That will be if you want to go for the GTI when that eventually comes. But this version here, I'll be honest, is punchy enough. Now this is also front wheel drive and it drives brilliantly. I didn't want to be that person that would just come on this trip and be like, oh, well, isn't this car great? Oh, it's sponsored by Volkswagen. It's not. But this drives like a Polo. It drives like a Volkswagen, which is a good thing. This is a pleasure. It really is. I mean, most people would buy this car as probably like their first car, or like if you've got a small family, maybe you've got a couple of dogs like I do, then you would just chuck them in the back, that kind of thing. You just use this for day-to-day driving. And it's driving really well. It's good. fair play to Volkswagen. Now you also have one pedal driving, so you flip it up into B mode, and then there's no one behind me. I'm lifting off the accelerator, and I am coming to a stop. Stunning, stunning. It's quite forceful, the one pedal driving, but I quite like that. It depends on your mood and what you kind of like when it comes to regenerative braking. For me, I quite like a bit of force when I lift off the accelerator, so for me this is working really nice. I'm quite a fan of that. I don't like it when it kind of does a leisurely stop. I like a bit of force to it, because then you can really just ride the accelerator and not bother touching the brakes whatsoever. So that's a good thing. Visibility is fantastic. It's a small car. It feels bigger. That's what's weird. It feels like a much bigger car while you're sat in here. But it is quite diddy. Like, I feel like I can throw this anywhere. I mean, if you were to compare this to like the Renault 5, for example, which is a small car, but basically the same as this, the same kind of size. This feels much bigger, much smoother, much quieter than the Renault 5. I'm not knocking the Renault 5 because I am a fan of that car. And I love the kind of retro vibes of that car. But this just feels much more refined, much more thought about. This is a pleasure. It's nice. And I'll be honest, these aren't exactly perfect roads that we're driving on right now. You are getting a few lumps and bumps. And it's kind of sailing over them with no problems whatsoever. There's no kind of rattling around the cabin. Everything feels sort of calm and quiet. And I think they've done that on purpose. A few people have said that the steering wheel's a bit big. Doesn't bother me. It doesn't feel kind of old bin liddy, which some cars it can feel like. You know, like when you drive in the Vauxhall Corsa, that is a big steering wheel and that feels like a bin lid. Whereas I don't know, maybe the shape of this just doesn't feel as massive as other people have said it feels like. But also it gives you really good visibility of this screen, which I've got it set in retro mode right now, which makes me very, very happy. Now, if you were to go for the smaller battery version, the 37 kilowatt hour battery, then you're going to get 300 kilometers, which is 186 miles of range. If you go for this version, which is what we've got here, the 52 kilowatt hour battery, then it goes up to 450 kilometers, which is 280 miles of range. Now, obviously, we are aware WLTP is not the same as real world driving, so we're going to have to wait until we get this car for a longer period of time when it actually comes to the proper launch of this car to see how efficient it's going to be. But they were saying in the presentation the fact that it's front wheel drive should technically make it more efficient. We'll soon find out, so watch this space. I'll find out for you. What I really appreciate about what they've done and the direction that VW are going in is the fact that they have listened to their customers and they've listened to the reviews. And it's like they've put their hands up and gone, yeah, we've made a few mistakes with touchscreens and all that kind of stuff in the past. We've listened, we've changed it, we've fixed it. And that's great. I really appreciate a brand that does that. Just having physical buttons makes a world of difference. And now knowing that there is a fake cassette player makes me a very happy girl. It really does. I don't know if I'm just showing my age here, but yes, I used to have cars with cassette players in them. I used to have cassettes. The first cassette I bought was PJ and Duncan, which was Ant and Dec, and their song was called Stepping Stone. It was a terrible song, but I used to listen to that on repeat. So, a little interesting fact about me there. I mean, we think back to the ID.2 concept, and that was what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Why did this take them so long? We've waited a long time for this thing, but I think it's been worth the wait. I want to say a massive well done to VW. Number one, for listening, for changing those touchy, slidey, irritating buttons that they had in their previous vehicles. That's great. They've listened, they've changed it. They've made a front wheel drive, loads of space in the back. They've made it a good value for money small EV. More of these, please, because I'm bored of the whole SUV thing. You can fit a family in there. Loads of room. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe and that's cracking.